What if you're locked out of a system and you need to get back in? This happens a lot. You might want to reset or clear a password, or perhaps you need to elevate privileges. You also need to keep unauthorized users from gaining admin access to a machine. In this demo, we'll talk about how to do all of these things. First, we need to create a bootable Kali Linux installation disk, or USB. There are many programs you can use to do this. We won't cover that process in this demo since it's not in the scope of this course, and I'm going to assume you can do this on your own. Once your bootable Kali Linux installation is created, you'll boot the computer you want to work from. That's where I am right now. I'll just press enter to continue the boot process. Kali Linux will take a minute or two to boot up. Alright, now that Kali Linux is booted up, I'll open a terminal. Once the terminal is all set, I want to verify which working directory we're in. If you've worked in Linux, you know that we can do that by typing pwd in the terminal. I can see that I'm in the root directory. The next thing I want to do is see a list of the devices in root. I do that by typing ls/dev. This is the location of our device files. As a side note, in Linux, everything is listed as a file or folder. This list contains a lot of stuff we're not interested in, so let's narrow it down a bit. I'll clear my screen and then type ls/dev/sd*. This narrows the list down to just the hard drives. Now we're seeing the different partitions for my drives on this system. It looks as if this machine has 2 hard drives in it, and these are the partitions for the first hard drive. And over here are the partitions for the second hard drive. I want to mount the hard drive to my Kali Linux system. To mount the hard drives, I'm going to pick the 2 that I think are likely to have the SAM file. To do this, we'll use mount/dev/sda1/mnt and press enter. And for the second one, I'm going to use sda2. Press enter again, and those 2 partitions are mounted. Let me change directories and verify that the drives are mounted. I do that by typing cd/mnt /ls. Okay, great. There's the Windows files. The folder that I'm really interested in is this Windows folder. I want to work my way down and find the SAM file. To do that, I'll clear the screen, type cd windows/system32/config, and press enter. Now, let's list the contents by typing ls. When I do, you can see that up here, I have a file called SAM. This is the file I want. It's the one that contains the hashed passwords for Windows. To verify what we're looking at, let's type in file SAM, and you can see it's a Windows registry file. Now I want to enter in the change nt password command, sudo change nt password. ch stands for change, and ntpw stands for the Windows password. Press enter. We could use several different parameters here. I'm going to use -I, or interactive menu system. This will let us interact with the SAM file. To do that, I type in sudo change nt password -I SAM and press enter. Now it says what to do. I'm going to respond, I'd like to edit user data and passwords. With that, I'll type in the number 1 and press enter. We see now that there's a list of usernames I can pick from. I'm interested in this account, the J. Schaefer account. I want to elevate this to an admin account. You can see that it doesn't say admin like some of the others. To work with the J. Schaefer account, I need to enter the relative ID, or just RID, for that account down here and press enter. Now I get to choose what I want to do with this account. Number 3 says, promote user, make user an administrator, and that is exactly what I want to do. I type the number 3 down here and press enter. It warns me that the user will have administrator rights. That's exactly what we want, so I'll type the letter Y for yes and continue. Now let's scroll up a bit. You can see that the promotion was done, and now John Schaefer has admin rights to this Windows system. I'll type in Q to quit editing this user account, and it returns me back to the main interactive menu. Alright, I'm back to looking at my user accounts. For the R. McGaffey account, it says that the password over here is blank, so we can't clear that one. Let's go up and look at the J. Fellows account. It's an admin account, so I'll use this one to clear the password. Once again, I want to type in the RID. And now I'll type in the number 1 to clear the password for that account. Press enter. If I scroll up a bit, you can see that it says password cleared, and that's what we want. Come back down here and type in Q to quit. And now I'll type Q again to quit and return to the main menu. It's telling me that the hives have been changed. I'll type in the letter Y to confirm that I want to write to the Hive files, and we're done. Now I'll unmount the drives and reboot this system. Now, if you remember, we removed the password from the JFellows account, so I'll click on it and see if we can log in. When I do, it doesn't prompt me for a password and just starts to log in. And, as you can see, it's logged in. I'll close these two windows and then come down here and type in Control Panel. We'll go to User Accounts and manage another user. You can see that the John Schaefer account is a local account administrator on this system, whereas before it was just a regular local account. What we just did was not very difficult. If this is possible on systems in your organization, you will definitely want to take some countermeasures. You should definitely encrypt the disk. Most Windows systems have BitLocker already built in. If not, there are other disk encryption programs that work very well. You might also configure the systems not to boot from removable media, such as USB or optical drives. Okay, that's it for this demo. In this demo, we used media with Kali Linux to boot a Windows system. Then, we worked our way to the SAM file to view the user accounts on the system. We elevated one account to an admin account and cleared the password on a different account.